Hello and welcome to our little talk on our journey from SAP ECC on-premise to S/4HANA Private Cloud RISE.
Yeah, so the story is, the subtitle is known as how we did it, what we learned, and the other part is, and what you should know from our side. So Julian, just start, please.
Let us quickly introduce ourselves. My name is Julian Fischer. I'm working for HEROSE. HEROSE is one of the world's leading manufacturers of valves and special fittings for extreme conditions. HEROSE is right now looking back on a company history of 150 years. Our headquarters are located in northern Germany in Bad Oldesloe, and with 4 manufacturing plants and 5 subsidiaries, we are operating in 3 continents. And in cooperation with external sales representatives and authorized service partners, we established an international network that helped us to offer our products and services on a global level. Our valves guarantee performance and safety in every situation. As you can see here, they can handle extreme temperatures from minus 269 degrees up to plus 400 degrees. And they can handle extreme pressures up to 1,200 bars. They can handle liquids, steam, technical gases. They can handle granular and powdery goods.
Yeah, so now just a few words to the All for One. My name is Alexander Lori, and we are the #1 for SAP transformations. So you can also see that we managed nearly 3,000 projects. And what we did it in time, we did it in budget, and normally we do it in quality. But for HEROSE, we put one other topic will be delivered on the project, but that will come at the end of the presentation. So it's, yeah. So what is on the next slide visible, you can see we have a lot of industries where we delivered our transformation projects. And if you want to be part of this slide, if you want to be one of these success stories, just visit us there behind the stronger word. There is our exhibition stand from the All for One. So, short to us.
What did we achieve? What did we actually do? Well, you guessed it. Together with our partner All for One, we managed to convert our ECC system to an S/4HANA context. We managed to convert from an on-premise operating model to a RISE operating model. And we did it within only 9 months. Not only did we want to convert to the latest SAP release, we wanted to seize this conversion as an opportunity for HEROSE to improve our work processes, to innovate, to simplify, to automate. And so we came up with these 5 guidelines that kind of led the way for us for the project and well, to show us our goal. Prior to the actual conversion project, we carried out 2 preliminary projects. One we called SAP Health Check, and in this health check, a team of experts came up with 5 key findings. One, SAP is our ERP system now, and it will be in the future. 2, we want to migrate to S/4HANA, and we want to migrate now. 3, we want to use the Bluefield method to do it. 4, we want to work with All for One.
Yes.
And 5 was, we want to stick to our old operating model on-premise. And as you guessed from the title of the presentation, we changed our mind on the way. The second preliminary project we called a design phase, where we asked an internal, or 14 internal teams of experts to analyze their work processes, to come up with innovation ideas. And we tracked these ideas in user stories. We organized the user stories in user story maps. We prioritized them. And finally, we ranked them to find out which ones of these ideas was the most relevant for HEROSE. And this was actually a very clever idea to do, as we found out later, because our teams came up with 372 innovation ideas and kind of laid out a roadmap for us for the further development of our ERP system. And it got them really excited about the project, and it got them very well prepared for what we had in mind too. Our original plan was to start the conversion right after we completed the design phase, but some basic factors had changed and forced us to change our plans here. What happened? Well, we faced 3 major challenges. The first one, and the most important one, was that we did this change of mind and decided to move from on-premise to a cloud environment. Why did we do that? Our SAP Health check was a year ago, so a year had passed. We found out that the business policy of SAP has changed as well, and innovation was only taking place within a cloud environment. And so we didn't want to be cut off, and changed our mind here. A second reason was the functionality of the private cloud model had increased, and last but not least, the cost model was at least a little bit more attractive than it was a year ago. So we made that decision. As a consequence, we had to renegotiate our licenses with SAP. We had to find solutions for some technical issues that came up. We had a standalone HCM tool. We needed to find a way, well, what to do with it, how to migrate it to a cloud world. We had the same thing with our global trade system. So a lot of technical questions. We found a solution to each problem. Finally, we had to check whether our solutions were in line with a project contract that was negotiated a year ago on the basis of the on-premise operating model. But we made an agreement, we found a solution to all the problems. The drawback was it cost us 6 months to do this, and we lost some valuable time, and we didn't start in October 2023 with a conversion project, but half a year later in March 2024. And on this basis, we asked Alexander to come up with a project plan for us.
Yeah, so the project plan is in conversions very simple. We always start with an analysis and design phase. So we ask the customer and together with our consultants what has to be done in the system which is in place and the system where we will convert the data to. We do this then in the follow-up phase, in the build phase, to customize the system to be ready for the changes. And then after the analysis and the build phase, we have a major cut in conversion projects. Until this phase, we have workshops, we speak about what the customer wants to do, and we decide, and then we do it for sure in the system. But after this 2 phases, we have a change in the mindset of each project member, what has to be communicated. In the first 2 parts, we are thinking about what to do, and in the second part, we are just doing the migration. We're doing the migration, the testing, migration, testing, and we do it again. So we are getting fitter and fitter to this migration approach. So the next step is for sure, and it was like in every conversion project I have done, and also here at HEROSE, we are ready to just ask the steering committee, let's go live, and we did it. But that is just one part of the story. The other part of the story, there comes the Bluefield approach and the SMP software to be in place parallel to the build phase. We are thinking about and asking the customer, do you really need all the data you have there in your system for HEROSE? It's nearly 24 years or longer. Do you really want to take all them with you? So they said, oh no, let's take, let's leave some data behind. So we working with time slices, we working with rule sets. So we came with the Polish colleagues from the All for One to the team, bring them to the workshops, and they make with the customers the rule sets, and also they bring it to the system. So these are the basics to be prepared to do the migration tasks and then the functional tests. But to be honest, one of the main key functions in a conversion project is that we start in the project already with the analysis phase, not just with the workshops. It's totally necessary to start and think about the testing. So start in the beginning directly with preparing the test files, the test cases, the test managements, the setup, what will happen when, and for sure in the migration and testing phase, do a very good test execution. And therefore, I think I also got the target to make a project plan to do it in 9 months. And yeah, that was the plan. And we are here because we succeeded, but there were some challenges on this way.
Exactly.
So why 9 months, Julian?
Well, it was a simple reason. Had we prolonged the project and extended it to 2025, we would have had to pay an additional 200,000 euros for the licenses for the old or for the legacy ECC system. We wanted to avoid that, of course. On the other side, we didn't want to risk things and take challenges we do not have to take. So we asked Alexander, do you think this is really possible? And he said, well, absolutely. If you prepare your testing phases well, it can be done. And so we decided, okay, let's do it. And I've heard this many times today, and I found this very interesting. Of course, the schedule was tight. We had to focus on technical conversion, and we had to postpone time-consuming ideas that we came up with during our design phase until after the go-live. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible in 9 months. The final challenge of the 3 we mentioned here hit us right in the middle of the project, and it had to do with the system support that SAP was offering us on our journey from the on-premise model to the RISE model.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges in the project was that the human factor from the SAP side just left the project in the middle of the project. So we were forced to do to bring the task from SAP into the project via ticketing. So if you have done already some projects, maybe you will get an idea that project and ticketing, not so good, that idea. But we had it in the subtitle, we had some learnings in the project. So our learning was concrete, that we tried over 14 weeks to handle this situation in a good way together with SAP. But at the end, it was necessary to work with that title, with the title. So at the end, we decided, okay, it's not possible for us to change the behavior of SAP to handle these situations. So we just stepped back and thought, okay, what can we change? And so we decided we change the method of our project and take out of the critical path of the project method the task from SAP in this environment. And at the end, we saw a project plan what is a little more complex than the planned or the normal project plan in conversions. But it was a little more complex, but we done it. So this was one of the major props we solved in the project.
It was a real test for our flexibility, and it forced us, as you can see here in these little screenshots we've made, that we had to change our project plan 4 times during the project. Yeah. But in the end, we succeeded. Well, let's now talk about a selection of 6 factors that help us complete the project on time, on budget, and within scope. I think a key asset was our team structure. We had the idea, additionally to the core project management, to set up leadership pairs for each module that we had to convert to S/4HANA. And each leadership pair consisted of a member of the relevant department, controlling, human resources, sales, etc., and a second member of my team, the business process management. And we described the 3 project management roles in great detail before we started into the project. My role as a main project manager, of course, was to plan the project, to solve any problem that came along, but also to focus on communication and on cultural aspects, such as, keep the team motivated, keep them in a positive spirit. And this was really a helpful thing throughout the whole process. The department expert contributed his process know-how, his SAP know-how, and functioned as an interface from the project team to the department. So communicated all the news from the project team to the department and came back with feedback from the department to the project team, which was very helpful in the end. The business process manager finally contributed his methodological expertise and his project experience, his ability to, clearly describe ideas and to abstract complex thoughts and processes. And it proved to be very good because we were in close contact with all the teams, and it made the project management for me as a central project manager very easy. Towards the beginning of the project, we had the idea to launch an application campaign in order to find suitable and highly motivated experts for our team. So we encouraged colleagues who were interested in this project, apply, join our team, and this was very successful. A lot of people showed their interest, and we had the usual experts that did all the digital projects in the company, but we had some new ones too, and they brought some interesting perspectives to the table, which was, I think, very good.
Yeah, and one single point of information is for sure a Microsoft SharePoint. Julian always called it the single point of truth. So it is very simple. It's a tool where we have the project plan, we have a vacation calendar, where we have the storage for each sub-project where the working files are in. But it's not that simple as it seems. It has to be used like it is planned. And on the other side, we as All for One, we bring not just this Microsoft SharePoint with us. It's filled up with cutover pattern, shift planning tools. And so we bring in for each phase the right tool just to be successful at the end.
Yeah. It was absolutely helpful because it provided a template for all the central phases in the project. So we were just able to use it and didn't have to design it first. So that was really good. And we could rely on your long experience carrying out conversion projects. So let us talk about a few communication formats we used during the conversion. Every 2 weeks, we brought all teams together for a joint Scrum of Scrums meeting, as we call it. We borrowed that from Agile project management and Scrums, to discuss the current project status. And in this meeting, we asked every team, every one of these 16 teams, to give us a 5-minute update on what did they do since our last Scrum of Scrums meeting, what are they going to do next, what obstacles did they meet, and finally, what learnings did they generate and want to share with the other teams. And we as project managers used the meeting to communicate project news and prepare people, what's coming up next, what do you have to prepare. And the format was actually very good because we had a team consisting of more than 60 people, and we managed to update them in less than 1.5 hours and keep them up to date throughout the whole project. People outside the project team, we informed with this poster campaign. So anytime we've reached a milestone in the project, we designed a poster, hung it up all over the company so people could read and follow what was going on in the project, just as a smooth form of change management.
Yeah, and also we use the SharePoint again as a platform to share the newsletter. So in that format, we informed the project team what is the main focus, what are the tasks, what will happen with the systems, what are the major issues maybe, and what is the focus on the next phases. So for each phase in the project, starting with the design, with the build, and followed with each TM0, TM1, TM2, or the go-live simulation or the go-live itself, we use this format so everybody can read it anytime he wants to get an information. Oh, what is the next task? Maybe I passed something. So that was also one good idea to use to bring the project manager up, the project team updated. Yeah.
And it was another asset that came along with the project server, with your SharePoint server. It was just easy to create the messages. It was easy to distribute them. So it wasn't an extra effort in the project, but it had enormous value for the company. Well, of course, we had to keep our management up to date and had to report there too. So we established a monthly steering committee meeting, giving project updates, securing important decisions throughout the project. And that worked pretty well too. Well, this is the moment to say thanks to our host tonight for providing the Crystal Bridge tool. The actual data migration phase in the project just went really, really easy. We decided in respect to transactional data to cut a time slice and to only migrate data younger than December 31st of 2012. Everything older than that date we just left behind, which was a great relief for the company. For master data, we designed business rules and used blacklists and whitelists to control which specific data we want to migrate, and and which one we did not want to migrate. This was helpful.
Yeah, no, don't go to the next slide. So one big advantage of the SMP software is that normally we say to the customer after the TM0, so the first test when we have the migration and the testing, never change the rule set. No, it's not allowed. Never do it. But what happened, Julian?
We did it. We changed the rule set.
We changed. Yeah.
But still, it worked
but with the software,
fine.
I think it's so stable and you can rely on it.
Yeah.
We are here. We have a happy customer, so we succeeded.
The reason why we succeeded was the help of your digital migration team. They guided us through the process. They made workshops with the people, explained everything, explained the whole procedure, and calmed everybody down that the migration part is really
with their experience, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, our thorough testing preparation and our lightweight yet I think very effective approach of monitoring this exciting and really important phase in the project, I think was a key factor and enabled us to finally go live without any major issues and with a really high quality SAP system.
So maybe everybody of you has take part in project where we have testing and when you have tickets. So the very simple idea was here to have the testing Excel file as a SharePoint list in the SharePoint, and also with the defects we have a normal easy SharePoint list, but to put on this Microsoft BI report, and maybe you can see it just with one picture. You see with the green colored, you see the testing status, so you can see, okay, for example, in the SD mode, we have 20 test cases, and you see in one picture, okay, maybe it is okay because we are just finally reached the end of the test cycle. Nearly 90% is done. And with the other slide, you see the defects, and you also can see it just in a view. Okay, with Silvio Hoffmann, he has 20 open defects, so maybe we have to go there and help him and check what is the problem with this defect. So these simply dashboards up on a simply SharePoint list helps us a lot, and was used by the management, by the consultants from the All for One side, from the migration team, and I heard from the management either.
They loved it. They totally loved it because it gave us transparency throughout this really important phase, and I loved it too because it was very easy to just get an impression where do we stand on any given date, and it was just fine. Alongside this KPI-based testing monitoring, we carried out 2 testing meetings where, again, we invited the whole team to join via Microsoft Teams, and we asked them to give us a 3-minute update on their current testing status. And we further asked them to pick one of 4 icons, and these icons illustrated, a range from everything is fine, proceed as planned, up to, okay, critical status needs revision. So again, in a very short time, we had an overview and we had a feeling for the sentiment each of the module teams were in. And of course, it told us where to focus our attention and where people needed help and where they needed some extra energy to solve problems. In the second half of that meeting, we divided the whole group into 4 breakup rooms. And in these breakup rooms, the consultants of All for One were present. The migration team was present, so our team members were able to discuss any problems that occurred with the experts and find solutions. And again, this format, it didn't take too long, but these 2 instruments just helped us through that really critical phase in the project, and they were lightweight and easy too.
Yep.
Well, before we wrap up this presentation, let me stress how important the cultural aspect is when you carry out a project of this size. In our kickoff meeting, we decided to add the phrase "with fun" to the usual project goals, on time, on budget, within scope. And in the end, this hint at a cultural aspect was totally important because we could focus on solving problems whenever they occurred, and we didn't have to, waste time assigning blame. during the project. This was absolutely helpful, and it helped us to finally succeed. Well, we did meet 3 of the goals we have set at the beginning. We didn't go live on December 2nd, but we went live on December 9th. The greatest problem was we had to postpone our Christmas party, but apart from that, everything just went totally fine. We went live without any major issue, so the hypercare phase was really quiet, which was a surprise, considering that we only had 9 months to prepare it. So I think it was a real success. Let me wrap up and tell you the key findings that we had during the process. Travel light, carry only what you really need. I think if you don't overcomplicate your methods, your methodology, and your tools you're using, this enables you to just stay flexible throughout the project. You really need senior project managers to do a project like this on both sides. It's not trivial, so consider that. It's helpful to closely cooperate with your teams, and I think the team structure and the BPM team, the business process management, was really helpful there. I already stressed the importance of a positive and honest project culture, which we found, and it was a great working together with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ensuring constant communication is important. This is a major change, even if you do not change your processes in a major way, but it's changed. People are very insecure, and you really need to communicate constantly throughout the project. And, well, at last, thorough preparation of the testing phase and, a reliable way of monitoring this phase is an absolute key factor. Thank you very much for your attention. We will be there in the speaker's corner. If you have any questions, we are happy to ask them.
Yeah,
and of course,
yeah. You can visit us up there behind the stronger. Yeah.